As mentioned, we're keeping a close eye on the situation at Maponya Mall. That's where our senior reporter, Chriselda Lewis, is still stationed, watching what seems to have been a moment of suspended animation. Just earlier on, there were a few running-ins. But Chriselda, you are getting closer to speaking to the bereaved family there.
Unfortunately, there was a bit of a delay in your team coming to us, but I've got the spokesperson now for the Department of Transport, and that is Lesiba Mpya. Lesiba, this morning we're expecting the MEC to be here. Has this MEC already arrived? You can see what the situation is at the moment. How can you describe it? Because the mall has basically shut down.
Yeah, the MEC is en route. She is actually stuck in the traffic that is on the back gate to inside the mall. This is the matter that the MEC is prioritizing, and of course, yes, she shares public sentiment and she shares the public frustration around what happened yesterday. This is a matter that the MEC is going to be prioritizing, meeting all relevant and related stakeholders, including the taxi associations as well as the e-hailing service.
This has been going on for quite a while, Lesiba. I mean, we've seen these scenes right here at Maponya Mall. Why has there been no resolution to this ongoing feud between e-hailing drivers and taxi drivers? I mean, this morning, the scenes here where rocks were being thrown in the middle of the road. Taxi drivers are not operating in this area. No one is operating in this area. The entire mall, we're hearing from the community now, is that it will be shut down for 7 days.
Yeah, look, in terms of the resolution, the MEC has come up with a mechanism. The crisis committee that meets the taxi industry as well as the e-hailing industry, frequently every fortnight, 6 o'clock on a Friday. And there has been, specific concession resolutions, where, conflict resolution mechanisms that are being agreed to. And the MEC was disheartened this morning when she was saying that I'm beginning to ask myself whether the negotiations are in good faith. Because what is happening around the boardroom is typically what is not happening on the ground. So she's coming down to the ground to interact with the issue, and she's going to be taking very drastic decisions.
I understand that, in this sector, I mean, in addition to people being killed, e-hailing drivers being killed, there's some areas where they cannot operate. There seem to be no-go areas when it comes to some of these e-hailing services. There are areas that have been declared no-go zones. It's almost as if we're not living in a democratic South Africa.
And we cannot have that. People cannot contend with whether or not they are going to be killed when they put bread on their children's table. Competition simply means that if there's innovation, yourself as an industry, you have got to innovate yourself so that you are better competitive. We stand against these violence. We stand against this bullying that has been happening. We are, interfacing with the police reports. At the current moment, we have got a very strong hunch as to what would have caused this. We don't want to feed into the speculation because we are currently interfacing with the facts. When the MEC has made a firm determination on the facts, as I've said, she's going to be taking very drastic decisions using the instrument of law at her disposal.
All right, and I mean, the community also talking about shutting down Maponya Mall for 7 days. It seems like in this particular area, there's going to be, they'll continue with this kind of action that we're seeing today.
Look, we stand on the side of the community, but we are requesting the community to give the MEC an opportunity to meet with the relevant stakeholders this morning. Perhaps we can be able to mitigate on that particular protest, but 7 days is too long. It's going to impact on the economy of Soweto in its entirety and the people who are working here. But we're saying that the MEC is here to actually take ownership of the issues that have transpired, including the decisions that she's going to be taking moving forward.
Thank you very much, Lesiba Mpya, who is the spokesperson. I'll ask my colleague to come this way. You'll see some of the cleanup that is taking place here, where the incident itself had taken a place, where the car had been torched. The family had also come to, sort of pick up the remains of their loved one. This is part of what would be done traditionally, especially in a situation where someone has actually been so brutally killed. And a lot of the e-hailing drivers, also came to come and show their solidarity. And with that solidarity is also members of the community who continue to be here. And we're expecting, of course, as Lesiba Mpya indicated, Lesiba, who is the spokesperson for the MEC, that she will be here and she will ensure that there is a resolution that is taken. I'm also told that some drastic action is going to be taken. I don't know what drastic action it will be, because in this instance, this is what has been happening in this area for a very long time, and there's been no resolution whatsoever to what has been taking place in this particular area, which has been very, very difficult for some of those that have been in this particular area. I'm going to see if I can't just hold on a second for me.
All right, once again, these are the visuals we're beaming to you from Maponya Mall. That's where operations have essentially been grounded to a halt. Community members telling us that they're likely to keep the status quo as is for the next 7 days if nothing changes. And of course, you can just imagine the cascading effects if that were to happen. I mean, Maponya Mall, one of the largest township malls we have in South Africa. And as I mentioned earlier, when it was established, it was really seen as this beacon of black excellence and entrepreneurial endurance. And for it in many ways to now be the site of this devastating loss for the grieving family and the site of the violence that we saw play out a few hours ago is a bit sobering at the very least. What you're watching now are the discussions taking place between our senior reporter Chriselda Lewis and some of the people who are stationed there, including the family representative of of the only person who we know who have died so far. Understandably, they had been a bit hesitant to speak earlier on, but there may very well be some progress made as of this morning once they've decided to elect their own representative who is, I imagine, going to share the sentiments of the family at this particular stage. Chriselda, once again, reporting live from the scene.
Members of the community trying to galvanize for what happens next for the family. You can only but imagine how difficult it is for them at this stage. There seems to also be some consultations with the members of the community there, some of the security agencies in this area as well, who've really tried to ensure that going forward, there is some way forward here. But whatever these stringent measures will be that the Department of Transport here in Gauteng does take, those are going to have to be, that situation is going to have to be something that is going to be a whole lot more tangible, because there is absolutely nothing at this stage that this community says has solved their problems here. There seems to be a lot of gathering that is taking place here now. I don't know what this way forward will be, but what I do know is that plans had been made to assist the family. It does seem like some of the community members may even be heading inside that meeting, of course, which is expected to take place. The meeting that is expected to take place here at Maponya Mall. And whatever the outcome of that will be an outcome which needs to address what some of those challenges have been when it comes to the ongoing feud between the e-hailing services as well as the taxi drivers. At this particular stage, we're yet to hear what the way forward will be, what the situation will be going forward. But it does seem like there will be a contingent which will be sent, a contingent that will be sent inside to go and continue with that meeting on what that way forward will be. The police services also remaining here. And I think residents in this area have also expressed their discontent with what has been happening here in Maponya, and many of them have come out here today indicating that they are very concerned about the state of affairs and what they've also termed as ongoing violence, in particular in this area where we're told that the taxi drivers do not want the e-hailing services to operate. I think at this stage, colleagues, I'm going to let you go, and I will come back to you once again as soon as there is some movement.
All right, Chriselda Lewis, our senior reporter, keeping a watchful eye over Maponya Mall, where tensions have spilled over since late last night, certainly into the early hours of this morning. If you've just joined us at around 24 minutes towards 10 o'clock, the very latest is that operations at this historic mall have been grounded to a complete halt. Community members who are angry about yesterday's developments saying that if they have their way, this will be the case for the next 7 days. Police also keeping a close eye on the situation, which is much calmer than it was even just a few minutes ago. What we've been also watching so far is the family of the e-hailing operator who was killed in yesterday's attack, arriving there, performing some rituals, presumably to fetch the spirit of the body of the person, I beg your pardon, who's died, as per the customs of many cultures in this country. They've been, of course, a bit hesitant to speak on camera as they wrap their heads around this particular devastation, with the Gauteng Transport MEC in Kidiboni Dialetlhabela said to visit this particular institution sometime this morning. She's already spoken out to condemn the violence that played out yesterday, which is believed to be between e-hailing drivers and taxi operators, a long-standing feud, dare I add, that's certainly not restricted to Maponya Mall in Soweto. Now, just earlier on, Pimville residents, also from Soweto, voiced their anger and frustration in the aftermath of last night's attack. Take a listen.
We are going to lose customers, and the more we lose customers, the more we're going to lose our jobs. So what is happening here is also affecting us and our families and our community as a whole.
Thank you.
All right, those are the sentiments of some of the workers from Maponya Mall, including some community members who have been part of, I suppose, the response to what happened yesterday. Once again, if you've missed it, one person has died. 2 others, we're told, are receiving medical treatment, whilst 2 e-hailing vehicles were torched last night. SABC News, as you can see, watching the developments. As soon as there's any other movement, including the arrival of the Transport MEC, we'll take you there live. Coming up, more of the day's top stories. I'll see you in just a moment.